The metallic groan of the station's outer hull, contracting in the endless, bitter cold of deep space, is the only music that ever plays for Leo. He drifts through the cramped, tubular corridors of Outpost K-Theta on Asteroid X7, his calloused fingers trailing along riveted steel walls that hum with a low, perpetual vibration from life support systems, fighting a losing battle against the void. The air carries the sterile, recycled tang of ozone and old metal, a scent he has come to associate with his own breath, his own existence. It is 2147 AD, and he is the sole human soul for over 3 billion miles in any direction, a tiny, fragile sentinel orbiting in the frozen, desolate reaches of the Kuiper Belt. The main control hub, a semicircular room cluttered with flickering holographic displays and banks of archaic physical switches, is his entire world. Through the thick, triple-pane viewport, the starscape is a breathtaking, yet utterly impersonal, tapestry of diamond-hard stars against a velvet blackness, so absolute it feels like a physical weight. Jupiter is a distant, pale beige marble, and the sun is just a particularly bright star, its light offering no warmth, only a cruel reminder of distance. His current task, a routine diagnostic of the long-range quantum entanglement array, is a study in profound, soul-crushing monotony. He's performed this exact sequence 743 times, by his own meticulous count, since his 12-month solo posting began 10 months ago. Each switch he flips, each data stream he verifies, is a meaningless ritual in a religion with no congregation. He sighs, the sound unnaturally loud in the pervasive silence, and runs a hand through his greasy, unkempt black hair. His reflection stares back from the dark surface of a deactivated screen. A man in his late 30s, with the pale complexion of someone who hasn't felt genuine sunlight in almost a year, and eyes that have started to hold the same hollow look as the void outside. System integrity at 98.4%, he mutters to himself, his voice a dry, raspy thing. Fluctuation in secondary power coupling, well within acceptable parameters. No new messages. No priority alerts. No anything. The silence that swallows his words is heavier, more profound, than the asteroid's own minuscule gravity. He finds himself talking just to hear a human voice, even if it's only his own, worn thin and frayed by isolation. Boredom, a more dangerous adversary than any system failure, propels him. He decides to run a deep-level scan on a neglected, low-priority bandwidth, a slice of the spectrum usually reserved for background cosmic noise and the faint, ghostly whispers of long-dead pulsars. It's a pointless exercise, something to fill the next 27 minutes. His fingers dance across the illuminated console, inputting the commands with a practiced, unconscious ease. A low hum builds within the room as the array draws power, its massive, dish-shaped antennae hidden in the rock above him slowly reorienting to a seemingly empty patch of space. The main holoscreen flickers, its usual cascade of navigational data and system diagnostics dissolving into a chaotic storm of static and random noise. He leans back in his worn synth-leather chair, ready to wait out the scan's duration, his mind already drifting to the recycled protein paste that constitutes his next meal. And then it happens. The static on the screen doesn't just clear. It coalesces. It forms into a sharp, unnaturally clean signal spike, a pure, narrowband transmission where there should be nothing but entropy's hiss. Leo sits up straight, his spine cracking in protest. His breath catches in his throat. This isn't possible. This frequency is a graveyard. He checks the coordinates twice, his heart beginning a slow, heavy thud against his ribs. The signal is strong, impossibly so, and it's broadcasting on a tight beam carrier wave that, according to all known astrocartography, originates from a point less than 50,000 kilometers from his own position. A point that is, unequivocally, empty space. A shiver, completely unrelated to the station's regulated climate, traces an icy path down his back. His fingers, suddenly clumsy, hover over the console. He needs to record this. He needs to analyze it. This is it. The moment every deep space technician dreams of. First contact. Or, at the very least, a monumental discovery. With a trembling hand, He reaches for the audio decryption control, a simple, physical knob he usually uses to monitor commercial freight hauls for a hint of distant human chatter. He thinks his internal monologue a frantic, hopeful whisper, just let there be a pattern. A number sequence. A pulse. Anything. He begins to turn it, a slow, deliberate rotation to fine-tune the reception. And a voice erupts from the overhead speakers. It is clear, devoid of static, and terrifyingly familiar. Just let there be a pattern. A number sequence. A pulse. Anything. His hand jerks back from the knob as if electrocuted. The blood drains from his face, leaving a cold, prickling numbness in its wake. That was his voice. Not a recording he'd made, not a stray transmission picked up and bounced back. It was his voice, speaking the exact words he had just thought, with his exact inflections, the same tired rasp at the end of anything. He sits there, paralyzed, his mind reeling, trying to find a rational anchor in a reality that has suddenly become fluid and insane. A feedback loop. A hallucination born from isolation. He's read the files on deep space psychosis, the way the mind can turn silence into symphony and solitude into a crowded room of phantoms. He swallows hard, the sound painfully loud in the sudden electric silence that follows the echo. His mouth is desert dry. He has to test this. He has to know. He consciously forms a sentence in his mind, something simple, something he would never say aloud under normal circumstances. He chooses his words carefully, then speaks them aloud, his voice trembling with a mixture of fear and a desperate scientific curiosity. Though the coffee on this station tastes like recycled coolant. For a single, heart-stopping second, there is only the hum of the station. Then, crisp and immediate, the speaker delivers his sentence back to him. Though the coffee on this station tastes like recycled coolant. It's not a perfect, simultaneous echo. It follows his speech by a fraction of a second, a ghostly, spectral twin to his own voice. But the timing is wrong for an echo. It's too clean, too precise. It feels predictive. A cold, primal fear, something deeper and more ancient than the fear of machinery breaking, grips him. This isn't a hallucination. This is something else. Something impossible. He pushes himself away from the console, his chair rolling back on its tracks with a sharp squeal that grates against his nerves. He stands up, his legs feeling weak and unsteady beneath him. He paces the short length of the control room, 3 steps one way, 3 steps back, his arms wrapped tightly around his chest. The familiar, cramped space now feels alien, a cage with an unseen observer. What is this? He whispers, not expecting an answer. The speaker remains silent. The signal on the screen holds steady, an unwavering green line taunting him. He stops pacing and stares at the console, at the source of this madness. He needs more data. He needs to provoke it, to see the boundaries of this phenomenon. He strides back to his station, his movements sharp with a newfound, frantic energy. He leans into the console's main microphone, his lips almost touching the mesh grill. "Who are you?" he demands, his voice louder now, firmer, laced with a fear he can no longer suppress. "Identify yourself. What is your vessel's designation and purpose?"